Hi everybody, I'm Ben.
And I'm Mike, and we write songs together under the name The Kelly Line.
By the way, Mike's my dad.
Which of course makes us a father-son songwriting duo.
And when we're not writing songs, we're generally chatting about writing songs, and we thought it might be fun to share some of the thoughts we have with you.
In this episode, we attempt to capture us writing a new song in real time. It's undeniably an ambitious undertaking, but nothing ventured, nothing gained. We've resisted the temptation to over-edit and give the false impression that songwriting is a smooth, straightforward process. It isn't, at least it isn't for us. There will inevitably be frustrations, moments when we rethink and redraft, and moments when we just get plain stuck. We've done a bit of editing, but wanted to give as accurate a picture as possible of how we write together. Prior to this session, we batted around an idea for a possible song, including a potential chorus.
Right, cool. So what are we doing today then, Dad?
You know very well, we're supposed to be writing some songs, but before we do that, we need to set the scene here, because this is the COVID era, obviously. You're in Cardiff, I'm in Cheltenham, that's why we're wearing headphones. I am actually sitting in your seat, and this is the songwriting room, but I'm sitting in your seat. Normally I'd be sat over there, and we'd be doing it face to face, so we're going to see how it works going face to face. Yes, I've sent you an idea for a song. Let's be more,
Cool, I'm
more
gonna open it
accurate.
up.
Have a look.
Obviously, I've never seen this song before, and this is totally new to me, despite the fact that already on my screen, people will be able to see that there are chords for this song.
Well, only the chorus.
I had verse chords as well, but then again, you might have.
Okay,
written
I've been
something
playing
different.
around with it in the last few days, so I think it's certainly been updated. We had the original idea was the line, the dream or the dreamer.
Yeah.
That was the original idea, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then we wrote a chorus, and then I think the last time you were actually in Cheltenham, so that's a good few weeks ago.
Yeah, quite a long time ago.
Yeah. So so give me a blast of the chorus. Actually, remind us of the chorus.
Cool.
The dreamer looks like the one's got a gift between a rock and a hard place is no place to live. You win some, you lose some. It's always been so. The dreamer, one's gotta go.
Yeah. I like
We
that.
had one's got to go, not looks like one's got to go. But
I could hear that.
It was nice having that short kind of end.
Now, what we've done there differently is we've bookended the chorus.
Yeah.
So the dream or the dreamer appears at the beginning and then at the end, as opposed to halfway through. I like that better.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah. I like it better.
And I could hear it as you were singing. It's not looks like one's got to go. It's one's got to go. Short line. Yeah, completely agree with that. Are you changing this, by the way, as we go?
Yeah, I'm putting in. I'm putting in the chords as we go.
What are they? Just out of interest.
F. It's all major chords. F, E, A, A7, D, G, A. All major chords. It's got kind of a Beatlesy feel.
Yeah.
But writing it and being like, there's something.
Yeah.
Beatlesy about it.
Do you know, I said that the other day. I played it to your mum when we were away for a few days, and I said that's a Beatles feel to me. She went, is it? So maybe it's not. But I get a Beatles feel to it as well. It wasn't deliberate. I mean, we didn't set out to write a Beatles type song. It just, when you sang it, you'd like go, oh yeah, there's a Beatles vibe to that. You know, so much has been going on in the last few weeks, obviously.
Yeah.
I don't know if I ever said to you where the idea came from.
No, you haven't, I don't think.
Well, I think there's two ways. Of looking at this one. One is, as you go through your life, you've got dreams, you've got hopes, you've got aspirations, and you always think that at some point you're going to be able to achieve them. Might be not now, particularly during this COVID era, but at some point it'll get better and you'll be able to achieve them. And then you get to that point where you're thinking, actually, maybe my dreams won't come true. That was one of the idea, and then the other idea was this idea of you're in a relationship with somebody, and the relationship is really strong. But actually, the longer it goes on, you realise that your dreams aren't necessarily the other person's dreams.
Yeah.
What gives? What goes? You can't have both. So those kind of thoughts were behind the chorus.
Fair enough. I think my thoughts when I was writing the chords was essentially just gut feeling, dream of the dreamer, do something kind of slightly unusual and disconcerting, which manifests itself in just all major chords. Never got room for any of this minor stuff, but even though it's all major chords and major's happy, because there's no minor chords, it feels off-putting. The fact that it's all happy chords.
See, I don't.
You shouldn't ever get that.
If you'd said to me, they're all. I didn't know they're all major chords, but I don't think it sounds happy, like ha ha ha.
Yeah.
I think it does sound. I think it almost sounds like melancholy, kind of like a.
Yeah, in isolation is obviously happier than. But having. All happy chords is just a bit spooky.
But I really like what you've done with that, because I think this is an example of a song that began with lyrics. It began with just one line, "The dream or the dreamer," and I really like what you've done with that, and that's the line in the song. I'm guessing that's going to be the title. I don't know. We haven't even written it yet, but I'm guessing that's going to be the title.
Yeah, probably.
So that line features a couple of times already, and I like what you've done with it. So. I mean, in my head, I'm thinking chorus written. What are you thinking?
Yep, I think that's basically what I was thinking as well.
Right then.
So you have some verses, obviously.
Yeah, and they're. I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, Michael, that's not the same musically, and I'm going to go, yeah, I know. Thought I'd give you a challenge. See where it says V1.
Yeah.
So this is my original idea. It was all so easy I could see. Almost runs into one line. And then everything so clearly you and me runs into one line. So you've got a double rhyme there.
Yep.
Does that make sense? Now,
yeah.
At that point, you could almost draw a line in it and say, okay, I'm not quite sure where it goes next. But this idea that the dream is really obvious, you know exactly what your dream is. You can see every detail, you can see every face, every smile. And that's a reference to me and mountains that walk every rolling mile, that kind of idea.
Okay.
But I think the first bit, and then I've got some lines there that I don't quite know what we're going to use. But then you've got the I can hope but can't pretend. Seem like the rainbow never ends. You've got to get that hint at some point that actually you get into a realization that you're not going to get those dreams. Mm-hmm. In other words, the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow never ends. Or that idea of you're not dreaming my dreams. Mm-hmm. And then the second verse, which I actually wrote this morning, I can't sleep, so I can't dream. Does that make sense? In other words, what I'm hinting at here is I can't rest, I can't find peace, I can't even dream. Restless in the twilight zone. I think you told me the other night you didn't sleep till about 6 o'clock. You're in that kind of in-between zone. Mm-hmm. And I like the metaphor now that I must dance alone, or it seems that I must dance alone. What's coming through for me is this conflict. You can have the relationship, you can have the dream, but you can't have both because the other person doesn't share your dream, and you're in this kind of tension bit. Okay, but go back to the first bit. I really like that. It was all so easy I could see. That kind of runs into one. Everything's so clearly you and me.
Yeah, so what is coming through for me is...
It was all so easy I could see everything so clearly.
Sorry, because the headphones are on, I can't really hear myself sing.
Probably just as well.
So easy I could see.
It's like the...
Easy, I could see everything so clearly, you and me.
Is the kind of, because the chords we were playing around with when we wrote like the chorus kind of chords the other day, was between F and A major. So. Which, for the interested amongst you, is a motion, a harmonic motion of a third, quite a weak harmonic motion, which means there's not much direction, which kind of gives it that spacey feel. But so I was thinking it was like.
It was all so easy, I could see everything so clearly, you and me.
Like.
So don't forget, this is the opening line of the song,
Yeah.
and it's gonna take you into that chorus.
Yeah, I think it works quite well. I think it needs like a closing line in the same way like the Dreamer or the Dreamer One's Gotta Go. I would see it as. Like there'd be a cap line, I think would.
So, okay, so you're going to go with it. It was also easy, I could see everything so clearly, you and me.
Yeah.
Is there another line? And what's the next line? Is it every face? Can you get in every
It's
face
not-
and every smile and walk every road
Okay.
mile?
It's not a couplet, it's a line. Is what I'm thinking.
Right.
It's not.
Okay.
Because those.
Every face,
So sing it right from the start.
it was all so easy, I could see everything so clearly, you and me. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Okay, got it.
Something like that. It's like cap line.
It's a cap line that.
'Cause then you
takes
could also
into the
have-
chorus.
Every laugh and every face and every smile, I'd walk every rolling mile.
Like you can. Those couplets work quite well in that spacey kind of thing.
So we need a cap line. It's not a rhyme cap line.
It doesn't have to. No, I don't think so. Anyway.
Yeah, okay. That's the point. If you were here, I'd say, put the kettle on, and we'd think. Or if it was dark outside, I'd say get a beer,
Yeah.
and then we'd look for a line. What are we trying to say?
You could, for example, you could have something.
It was all so easy, I could see everything so clearly, you and me. But you're not dreaming all my dreams.
Like something like that would work.
Oh, I know. No. You see, the thing is, you have thrown into the first verse. There's this change. We're dreaming. Everything's happy. Everything's hunky dory. You're not dreaming my dreams anymore. At what point? Do you know the Springsteen song, "Hungry Heart"?
Everybody's got a hungry heart.
Yeah. I think it's the best example of telling a complete story in a couple of lines.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we fell in love. We knew it had to end. In 2 lines, we fell in love. We knew it had to end. We took what we had and we ripped it apart. At what point do we put in the line that changes the tone? Because we start off by saying it was all so easy. I'm dreaming. I've got this dream. I know what it is. And then you're going to say, actually, it's not as easy as that. Do you put that line in early on? And can I also say, do we use the metaphor of dancing? Which I like, the idea of dancing together, dancing alone. Can you ask the question? Can you ask a question? The last line, are we dancing together, are we dancing alone? Does that work?
It would be better if it was "Are we dancing together" or "Are we alone?"
No, or dancing alone.
Yeah.
Dancing alone.
Are we dancing together or dancing alone?
Yay! Like it.
Alone.
Yeah.
Quickly, write that down. I haven't actually got my Word document up because we're Zooming this, so...
Dancing together, are we alone?
you've got to have dancing alone,
Or
or
yeah,
dancing alone. It still fits.
It was all so easy. easy, I could see everything so clearly. You and me, are we dancing together or dancing alone?
That's quite, yeah, that would work, except it's quite a jump between I can see everything so clearly, you and me, and everything's happy. Are we dancing alone? All of a sudden, where's that question come from? I still think it's a line about dancing.
You could just put "but" in front of it.
Yeah, you could. So it's not a question.
Well, yeah. But are we dancing together or dancing
Can
alone?
you still fit that?
Everything so clearly, you and me. But are we dancing? You and me. But are we dancing together or dancing alone?
Yeah. you could.
Yeah.
I think there's a better way of doing it though.
Yeah. I would say, at this moment, put that line in.
Yeah.
I think we might be able to improve on that, but it gives you the line that gives you the structure of the verse to take you into the chorus.
Okay, which I assume you want the next verse to begin with every laugh. Every
Well-
laugh and every smile. I'd work every rolling mile.
I don't know actually, because those two lines were about, I can see it all clearly. I can see every face, every smile, every laugh, every place. I'm not sure. I tell you what I would like to do at that point is I would like to see the lyrics that we've got so far written out, and I would actually like to hear you sing the whole thing into the chorus to get
Okay.
a feel of, and also we get an idea of how long that bit takes.
Okay, I've just sent you the lyrics as they are. We're on 15 seconds past 20 minutes, so cool.
It was all so easy, I could see everything so clearly. You and me, are we dancing together or dancing alone? The dreamer looks like one's got a gift between a rock and a hard place. There's no place to live. You win some, you lose some. It's always been so. The dreamer, one's gotta go.
How long?
Exactly a minute.
Was it?
Give or
Was it
take,
as much as
yeah.
that? Well, I really like what you've done to that chorus. I really like the sound of that, because obviously
Cool.
they're just words on a piece of paper, and then all of a sudden you turn them into a song. I really like that. I'm not 100% convinced about the last line, but I am convinced about the metaphor of dancing. I need a couple of minutes to reflect on that. I'm being serious. This is the point at which I would normally say, right, kettle on.
Yeah.
Should we kettle on?
Yes.
In inverted commas?
So, 1 cup of tea later.
Okay. Now, I like the idea of getting the main line in quite early in the song.
In which case,
It's a short verse into a
short
chorus.
verse. Yeah. So then mine could cap off a different verse later on, as in the first half, the first
Yeah.
of the two verses afterwards. But I think yours should be the first one. So
It's not tablets of stone, that, but I think as a rule of thumb, you want to get your key line in. You want to get into what I'd call the meat of the song relatively early. I want to do something with this idea of nothing's as it seems. I can't sleep, so I can't dream. Restless in the twilight zone. Now it seems I must dance alone. Play around with that.
yeah,
Could be a middle eight.
yeah, it could be.
It could be, which is why I've put the question mark. Is that a middle eight? And then let me take you down to. I want this like no recriminations. I like this no one to blame, no one to forgive. You win some, you lose some, just the way that it is. No one to blame, no one to forgive. I quite like this. I don't want it to be like a relationship that breaks up because you're not dreaming my dream, but as I said, acrimoniously. So, does anything down here capture your eyes and your attention?
I like the verse 2, middle 8, that section.
This?
Yeah.
Can you make it into a verse? Can you make that fit the structure of the verse?
Well, yeah, each couplet fits the couplet structure of the verse. Wait, so...
Seems like nothing's as it seems. I can't sleep, so I can't dream.
And then you got...
Restless in the twilight zone. Now that I must dance alone.
And then okay, so yeah, okay, in that case, I think that is verse 2. And do you end it with the line, "Are you dreaming my dream?" Or "You're not dreaming my dream?" And save your bit for the middle 8.
Seems like nothing's as it seems. I can't sleep, so I can't dream. Are we dancing together or dancing alone? Restless in the twilight zone. Seems like I must dance alone. Are you dreaming my dream?
That's what it's each of those pairs of lines is a couplet.
Yeah.
And needs to be followed by a third line.
Okay, so how about bringing up about this bit here, about the rainbow never ends. So forget Restless in the Twilight Zone for a minute. I can't sleep but I can't dream is strong enough on its own. Can you not? I can hope but can't pretend. Seems like the rainbow never ends. Are you dreaming my dream?
I can hope but can't pretend. Seems the rainbow never ends.
So are we dancing together, dancing alone?
Or
Twice.
no, I don't like it. How about you're not dreaming my dream?
You're not dreaming my dream, nor are you.
Yeah, because we've asked the question and now we've moved it on. Try that.
Seems like nothing's as it seems. I can't sleep, so I can't dream. Are we dancing together or dancing alone? I can't hope but can't pretend. Seems the rainbow never ends. You're not dreaming my dream. The dream of the dreamer. Seems like one's got to give.
The middle 8 lines that I would like to use is this: just the way, no one to blame, no one to forgive, and just the way that it is.
The way that it was.
Now, I know we've already used win some, you lose some in the chorus.
Yep, you do. Yep, you have.
I personally don't think.
Don't think that's a big deal.
Here are some options. So you win some, you lose some, just the way that it is. No one to blame, no one to forgive. Or there's no one to blame, no one to forgive. The dream or the dreamer, one's got to give.
Yeah, that's very similar to the chorus.
Yeah, okay. The dream or the dreamer, is it all just a dream? Nothing is real, nothing real as it seems, type idea.
Yeah.
What about the dream or the dreamer, do I have to decide? The dream or the dreamer,
I like
God.
that.
What about dream or the dreamer, do I have to decide? The dream or the dreamer, God knows I tried. I'm not precious about any of these, so if there's anything that you go, yeah, I like that, then I would tend to go with it. I'm using, I'm coming up with one or two ideas that we used 5 years ago with Rock and a Hard Place but never used. Do I have to decide idea?
I've got an idea musically that's quite cool and gets quite big. It means there's slightly more lyrics. Can I have pick your 2 favourite of those chunks, just so I can work this out?
dream or the dreamer, do I think that idea of do I have to decide, that kind of reflective question, it's almost like do I have to decide?
Okay, so I'll just play the first bit.
The dream or the dreamer, do I have to decide? The dream or the dreamer, God knows I tried.
So, like, changing key to this E major thing is.
It sounded to me like that should be doubled up.
Yes, no, it needs more lyrics. So what I think would be cool is if there's some.
The dream or the dreamer, one's gotta go.
What about that?
The dream or the dreamer, do I have to decide? The dream or the dreamer, God knows I tried.
If you're in a middle age, do you repeat the dream or the dreamer just the way that it is? No one to blame, no one to forgive. Do you play that line?
Wait, I think I've got an idea. Sorry. Okay, so here is my idea for a middle eight.
The dream or the dreamer, do I have to decide? The dream or the dreamer, God knows I tried. You win some, you lose some, the way that it is. No one to blame, no one to forgive. The
Yeah.
the dreamer.
The only
It's
thing
quite hard to batter that
Pardon me?
quietly. I was trying to sing quietly there, which is why.
The only thing that I would say is, I wonder if the line "you win some, you lose some" shouldn't be the dream or the dreamer.
Okay.
And the other thing that I would do, because we've used the line just the way that it is, I think I would change it to just how it is.
Yeah, I like that better. Okay, so I'm going to try and do this as properly as I can. So I'm going to do a chorus into that middle eight, into a quiet chorus, and this is how I think the song should probably end.
The dream of the dreamer looks like one's gotta give between a rock and a hard place. It's no place to live. You win some, you lose some. It's always been so. The dream of the dreamer, one's gotta go. The dream or the dreamer, do I have to decide? The dream or the dreamer, God knows I tried. The dream or the dreamer, just how it is. No one to blame, no one to forgive. The dream of the dreamer looks like one's gotta give between a rock and a hard place. There's no place to live. You win some, you lose some. It's always been so. The dream of the dreamer, one's gotta go.
I already have a thought that will make this even. I quite like that middle eight and the way it goes. I just think that now it makes sense. I don't want to try and change key coming off the middle eight and changing it back from the E to the F is a bit weird. So I might. What do you think of the middle eight? What do you think of it as it stands?
I like it. I think, it's obviously early days and it gets kind of like, I call it sandpapering. It gets smoother as you sing it more often and get to know it. I like it, and I like the fact there's almost a sense of resignation. It's just the way it is. There's no one to blame. It's just how it happened. It's in tune with. It's in tune with how I envisage the song to be. I think I'd like to hear it all as a complete song, and I'd like to get an idea of how long it takes, how long the song is. But I don't think we are far away. I don't think we're far away. What do you think?
I don't either. No.
The dreamer, the dreamer.
Yes, I've got it. I think I've got an idea. Basically, I'm going to redo the last chorus.
Give between.
Okay, so if you give me a second, I'm going to try and do that again.
The dream, oh the dreamer, looks like one's gotta give between a rock and a hard place is no place to live. But win some, you lose some. It's always been so. The dreamer, one's gotta go.
What do you think of that?
Well, I like it, and as I say, I think I'd like to hear it all from start to finish in one go, and I'd like to get an idea of how long it takes as well. Can I, before you do though, can I just point out
Yep.
that even though we have our moments when we argue like cat and dog,
Yep.
when we write songs, that was a really interesting bit then, because obviously we started off with the lyrics, and
Yeah.
then you went into creative mode, and I got an
Yeah.
idea, and firstly I just shut up and let you go, and secondly,
Because I was so scatterbrained, if you didn't just let me go, I'd forget it instantly.
well, but the other thing is, I trust you to I just trust you now to have your bit in the same way that you trust me at the start to say, no, in other songs it's the other way around, isn't it? You kick it off and then say, you have your input.
Yeah, and if at any point one of us was just like that, I'm not happy with that at all. The other's like, you know what? There, we know when the other says something's not right, it's probably not right.
Yeah, but you know, there's a bit of bio somewhere about us, about how just people often ask us what's it like writing songs with your dad or writing songs with your son, and we always say, well, we don't think of it like that, we just write songs together. But I was kind of trying to bring myself out of the picture and be objective there, and how do we work how do people work as a team? I thought that was a really good example of, I'd had my little input, you'd run with it, and then you were going to go, oh, right, I've got an idea, and it was just like, you kind of took over there. And I was almost like, if I was being objective, I'd actually be really encouraged that that's how we work. I just thought I'd share that little observation. I'm pretty sure you won't include that in a
I think
podcast.
I probably will.
Well, you might do. I don't mind if you do. I mean, it's not private or anything like that. But I was just thinking, like, that really is a perfect example of how we write, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that. I'm going to play The Dream or the Dreamer. Let's go.
It was all so easy, I could see everything so clearly, you and me. Are you dreaming? I dream. The dreamer, the dreamer, looks like one's gotta give between a rock and a hard place is no place to live. You win some, you lose some. It's always been so. The dreamer, one's gotta go. Seems like nothing's as it seems. I can't sleep, so I can't dream. Are we dancing together or dancing alone? I can't hope but can't pretend. Seems the rainbow never ends. You're not dreaming my dream. The dreamer looks like one's gotta give between a rock and a hard place is no place to live. You win some, you lose some, it's always been so. The dreamer, one's gotta go. The dreamer, do I have to decide? The dreamer, God knows I tried. The dreamer, it's just how it is. No one to blame, no one to forgive. The dreamer, looks like one's gotta give between a rock and a hard place is no place to live. You win some, you lose some, it's always been so. The dreamer, one's gotta go.
Yeah, what do you think?
I liked it. I think, well, two things. Firstly, it sounds kind of how I envisaged it sounding. So
Which is a good thing.
yeah, it is, because it's like that's what I was trying to achieve. That's what we were trying to achieve. So whether it's any good or not is immaterial. The first thing you've got to do is try and execute what you set out to execute, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Sounds a bit clinical of a creative process, but I think that's the first thing you've got to try and do. My second thing was, I think we've got to get a little bit smoother coming out of the first chorus into the second verse. It was a bit jarry, and I think maybe the lyrics maybe need to be just a tiny little tweak.
We're talking about
The dreamer, one's gotta go. Seems like nothing's as it seems.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, only because because we go from every. I wonder if you don't need to put in a couple of bars of guitar.
Okay, if it was, I think it would be. Like the thing you end that. So one's gotta go. It would be the bit you end. Yeah, I can see that.
I wonder if you need to just give the listener to give a bit of breathing space, and that's where I would put the breathing space, and
Okay.
then from that moment onwards, we're really now into this. The whole tone's changed, like
Yeah.
it gets a bit darker in mood,
Yeah.
and that's why I think you just need a couple of bars.
Okay. I messed up the timing on "Seems the Rainbow Never Ends." That was my fault, but that's fine.
Yeah, go on.
I'm not 100% sure on my crunchy C chord.
You're not dreaming my dream.
I think it will depend. That's something that can be decided later. I'm happy enough with it.
Yeah, I'm happy enough with it. I think it'd be
it's
tweaked.
the only bit I had a question mark over, really.
Can I ask you a question?
Uh-huh.
What is the difference between a C chord and a crunchy C chord?
Well, it's a dominant 7 chord coming off the back of like all of these major chords, so it kind of is a bit crunchy.
Okay. So you're not.
It's not just a C chord; it's a C7.
Okay.
But voiced in quite a lot of the crunches in this.
Okay. Okay. Get it. There you go.
This B flat. Oh, is it dominant 7? Oh, it is a dominant 7. Yep.
So then, two thoughts. Number one, we have no idea where this song goes.
Nope, no idea.
Will we record it one day? Won't we record it one day? Who knows? Will it appear in a set sometime? I'm sure it will appear in a set.
Yeah.
But will it appear again in a set, if you know what I mean? So we have no idea what happens. I kind of think that's kind of exciting, really.
Yes.
My second overwhelming thought was a bit sad, because we've essentially, I think we've let people into our process.
Yeah.
And do you know the only other person or the only other thing that's ever witnessed that is Millie.
Oh. Cheers, buddy. Cheers.
And
Really
I feel quite sad.
cheerful thoughts.
And if people don't know what the hell we're talking about, we had a black Labrador called Millie, family pet, for many, many years. And Millie used to lie in the snug when Ben and I were writing songs. And occasionally she'd just look up, wouldn't she?
Yeah.
So she was the only person, the only thing, if you like, that's heard every song we've ever written from start to finish, right from the process. And I was actually thinking that we've just let people do what Millie used to do. So I felt quite sad.
Well, this podcast is dedicated to Millie.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So with a tear in my eye, there you go.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this podcast.
Yes.
Of us writing songs.
And the song, which no doubt you'll hear more of in the future, I hope you do anyway, I think we're going to call The Dream and...
Or The Dreamer.
The Dream or The Dreamer.
The dream or the dreamer looks like one's got a gift between a rock and a hard place is no place to live. You win some, you lose some. It's always been so. The dream or the dreamer, one's gotta go.